TGIF Warriors. Namika, welcome to F.A.C.E. We always start at the top of the hour. Thank you, Michael, AJ, Andrew. Hello, Saloom, James, Kman, Ryan, Patrick. Couple of interesting headlines. We'll talk to Kman and Ryan about Jordan's, the Swiss Central Bank chief's resignation. I think that's interesting. And private equity giant Apollo Global Management predicts Federal Reserve will not cut interest rates this year. That would be a disappointment. So how's everyone doing? I hope.
Morning, Dale.
Hey, Brian. So we didn't close under 380 yesterday in Dixie. And, they tried to rally it early today. But, I look at this, and if we start closing over 420, this little, double top here, the measured move would be back to the highs. You take it from 340, that's about 80 pips. 80 pips from here is back to the high. So we'll see what happens. Gold trying to break out, but leaving a wick, and silver bringing up the rear. What are you doing here, bro?
I'm watching carefully this 108 level, 107.90 level in euro dollar. That's probably top in Dixie as well. We're knocking on this door far too often.
3 times.
For my liking.
Yeah, 3 times so far.
And my thing about knocking on the door. At some point, it's going to open up, and you're going to get let in.
Okay.
So that'll be your trigger for your 104.20 in Dixie, probably.
Okay. And yen fighting its way back. Still looks like it wants new highs.
Mr. Ueda coming out and taking a bit of steam off of Takata yesterday.
Okay.
Painting a more realistic picture of what's going on. And
so
done a bit of damage.
Another false alarm of people top picking, think they had it. I remember yesterday Blake saying that he'd be looking to be a buyer around 149, and we got within 28 pips of it. Blake, did you move on it? Well, maybe he's not listening right now.
Oh, I'm listening. No, actually, I was talking about 149.50. 149.50 was the level, but no, I did not make a move on it.
Okay,
I did not. I'm more watching for how it's holding around these levels, because I'm more curious as if we close above it, which we did yesterday, or if we close below it, then I start to get a little worried about what's happening. So
yeah.
And good morning, Dale. And Ryan, I love your analogy about knocking on the door. Eventually you're going to be let in if you keep knocking on the door. I think that's better than using the battering ram analogy, but I like it.
I've tried that at a few country clubs. They wouldn't let me in.
With the battering ram? Damn.
No, just knocking. Just knocking, buddy.
Just kidding. I'm joking. Yeah. I'm joking.
Yeah.
And by the way, Dale,
go ahead.
Dale, I got to ask you, how are you feeling? How are you feeling today?
Worse.
Oh, all right. Well, say what you have to say. Apple is pre-market trading around 180, Dale. It's getting a little scary. I'll take over here in just a few minutes. So just, you just go ahead.
I think pre-market in Apple, it's even lower. I noticed TradingView is updating overnight action. Oh, okay. So it came back. So it's going to try and put in a reversal day. I saw Carter Worth is looking for 160. So I'm sure he's going to jinx me. Anyway,
he's a good technician. Come on. He's a good technician.
Yeah, he's good.
But yeah, that happens when sometimes
I don't like hearing.
Sometimes people like to mush your trade, right?
Yeah. So yields still holding, 420 level. Back to unchanged. still hasn't done anything wrong, getting a nice wick here. So both the yen and 10-year yields look like, maybe next week they make a move to new highs. If Apollo's right, who knows where they're going? Crude getting through some resistance here, knocking at the door, and S&Ps are higher. Dow is still the weak sister. Look at the S&Ps, right? Look at the NASDAQ, it's even stronger. And look at the Dow. It's like a different market, isn't it? And that's it. Those are my looks. The dollar still has to take out that 380 on the close, and we get through that 420. We're going a lot higher. So,
all right, Dale. Well,
view.
I know you're not feeling like splendid right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and take over. I like a chippier Dale on a Friday, so it doesn't look like we're gonna get it this Friday, so I'm gonna take over.
Yeah,
from
maybe
here.
next week.
Yeah, well, I just hope you feel a little bit better.
But what a warrior! What I have to say it myself. What a warrior I am.
You are a warrior. Way to hang in there. Way to hang in tough, Dale. We appreciate you. All right, let's start off and let's talk about this before I get in what's happening in sterling here. Let's talk about this disinflationary data that we got out of the Eurozone. I mean, it wasn't as bad as markets were expecting, right, Ryan? I mean, we had data that came out just so everybody can see it. Let's go ahead and pull it up here just so you guys can see the reading. So we had the Eurozone inflationary data a little bit worse than expected, or better than expected, but still worse than last reading.
Yeah, but sticky. That'll bring the hawks out, dismissing early cut chances and need to do more. Jobs not done. Blah 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 blah. The PMIs all came in. There were some bright spots. Spain was a bright spot. The rest were all, mildly positive, but still in negative territory.
Right. And so with this data, you have the euro again. I thought we'd have a much bigger reaction above 108. 108 is, as you're saying, we keep knocking on the door there. It seems like there's got to be, and you just think about this from like a, just a price action perspective. You hit it, you hit it. All the stops building right below there. I mean, those look pretty juicy, I think, going into Friday. I mean, if dealers are like, look, let's just push price below there, trigger all the sell stops, and then, scoop up on the bids down below. I mean, that's what I'm thinking right now. Why not make a little bit of extra cash on a Friday afternoon, right? So how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm toying with sticking maybe a little sell stop in at 107.90, and then looking for it to hit that 107.60 perhaps.
Yeah, and then why not? Or if you just happen to be a Euro bull and you think the US dollar is a piece of shit and you just want to be short it, well, why not just pick up a bid down here? You know what I mean? If you don't want to try to play that, you can just try to be a buyer down here. I think there's
I'm both.
Hey, I live over here on the other side of the pond.
Yeah, you can't do that. I can trade both ways. I can be long and short at the same time.
Okay. So anyway, that's the euro looks a little vulnerable here. Let's flip the script and let's go over to sterling. Kman, I think we got a little bit of a triangle going on inside of a rounded top. That's how I feel about sterling at the moment. Do you have any thoughts on this thing?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Hi.
Good morning.
Dale, hope you get better really, really soon, my friend. Sterling is a follower of fashion right now. If you look at euro sterling, for instance, it's pegged. Yeah, it all looks. You know what I was saying this morning in the chat room, it's not going to take too much of a beat on the ISM, in my opinion, or at the Michigan, perhaps, to see a bit more dollar strength. And I'm looking at a couple of currencies in, well, actually the majors. Euro hanging 108, hanging by a thread. Cable not too far from the support as well. Dollar yen closing in on that 150.80 again. Dollar Swiss trying to break into the weekly clouds over the 200 DMA. It all looks to me like it's not going to take a big beat on those data to have a dollar C put in a little spike for the end of the week. That's how I feel this Friday, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, in the ISM data, manufacturing's been walking a fine line here in the US. You know, we're obviously sub 50 in some of the components there, but you know, this is going to be a big one. I think everybody's looking at this, you know, trying to gauge what we're going to see for non-farm payroll next week. So, you know,
Yeah,
and
and
go ahead.
in the ISM, I really, well, prices is one thing, but look at the employment index still, right? This is still something that is going to be a driver, because the market is really always scrutinizing what could happen in with employment as well.
Macroeconomists has been they've been expecting jobs in the U.S. to crap the bed since early 2023, right? I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
that's
definitely, and everybody was dead wrong on all of that. But then, you know, the bond market is still what it is, and it's still one big pot of net. If you look at the yields, they move they really move all together. So that is what's made FX be a bit of a spectator of other markets as well. But I'd say, and I'd argue, in a couple of currencies, we are looking a bit. Yeah, I wouldn't. Let's say that I wouldn't exclude the dollar. It's not going to take a big beat, I think, today for the dollar to gather a bit of strength.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so let me shift a little bit more gears. I'm going to stay in the currency market. Ryan, well, Kman and I are trading this, and I just added to my my longer term longs. Little nervous. Euro Swiss is broken higher as I expected, and I know Kman's buying it here. I'm long. I've got a sizable position going. We're above channel resistance, above the 200 DMA, and we're breaking out. I am worried about this Gartley pattern. Now, Jordan came out today overnight, and he had some comments. So, Ryan, what the hell's Jordan saying? Besides,
he resigned.
Jordan, what?
Yeah, he resigned. He's quitting in September. The
Oh.
statement that they released sounded like it was a bit of a surprise, but he's just this minute had a press conference, and he said he would have left sooner if not for the Credit Suisse crisis and the Ukraine war. So he wanted to get over that. He would have gone much sooner, it seems. So yeah, he's gone.
So what should we expect? Is it going to be all hell, breakdown in the Swiss franc? Is that, because he's been such a buyer of Swiss francs for the last year and a half?
Well, it's doubtful that policy that he's brought into play is going to suddenly get thrown out the window. But you never know. But yeah, certainly there's tons of old FX traders from 2015 cheering and going to down a few pints this afternoon.
Yeah, but we're not at 120 yet in the Euro Swiss.
And let's, I just want to show you guys this. I'm going to zoom out. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to pull up a different feed. Just give me a second. Let's pull up, I don't think I use Saxo Fiat at all. Yeah, let's look at this on a longer term look, and just realize that this is, after, thanks to December price action, in January. That's a big false breakdown right now in the Euro Swiss. This is a big breakout, because false breakdowns usually lead to breakouts. You guys hear me say that pretty much, at least once a week, for years. And so we got this false breakdown right here, and you can see we're getting that breakout. So this doesn't surprise me at all that we're, that it's continuing higher. But can this continue now? What do you guys think with the Swiss franc? Kman, like I said, you're trading it.
Yeah,
You did
no,
it. And by the way, before you go on, Kman did a big piece here on Traders Summit on the Swiss franc. If you guys haven't seen this while he's speaking, I'm going to put this link.
I'm still, I'm
box.
still constructive on Swiss pairs. I also think that we may see a bit more speculation, and that's still 3 weeks away. But we may see a bit more speculation on the Swiss franc going into the SMB meeting. The Swiss numbers are average. The data are average. Jordan said it was enough in December. The Swiss corporates are still not happy about the Swiss level. I think there's a fair possibility we continue this way, and we are, as you've been showing and as I've been putting in the room several times, we are in attempts to break now, to break channels, to break. Dollar Swiss is trying to break. We are entering the weekly cloud. We are above the 200 DMA. It's all looking constructive. Now, Jordan leaving doesn't mean that we are going to see a complete turnaround of the SNB policy, but I think the market is right in expecting that there may be a bit more Swiss weakness coming, and I reckon that again this afternoon could be a very interesting afternoon. If those US numbers break, we could see the confirmation and the break of this high 88s in the dollar Swiss. That's how I look at it for now. Just don't change a winning team for now.
Yeah, so speaking of the dollar Swiss, and then we'll shift gears over to equities and what's happening in gold. Bull flag pattern. We are getting close to completion here. That's the one. Whoops, that's the one thing I do want to be a little concerned with the Swissy. Doesn't mean it's going to stop. It's just one of those things that once we complete a pattern, you got to go, okay, well, let's reassess. We're also got the 618 retracement at 89 cents. That's been our target. If you're on the daily shows in the morning edge, which is about an hour exactly from right now, we've really been targeting this 89 cent level in the dollar Swiss. That's been like the ultimate target that we know is right above where we currently sit, because like I said, it's a 618 retracement. There's a bull flag pattern that has to complete. So we've been, constantly targeting up there. But once we start getting around that 89 cent level, which could be as early as today on an ISM beat, I do want to be a little more careful. I've been pretty, I don't want to say loosey-goosey, but I've been pretty aggressively long or short Swiss francs, and I do want to be a little bit more cautious as we get closer to here. And again, guys, just keep in mind, if you're part of the ForexAnalytix community, it's only $1 for 10 days to just try it out, be inside the trades room, where you can bypass the general chat and say, oh, I don't want to talk about Shogun, the show, which by the way happens to be a freaking awesome show. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch it, we were talking about that this morning because it's such a great show. If you haven't, if you want to bypass all that crap, you want to go over just to the trades room and just kind of know what we're doing and what positions we're taking and like what positions I happen to be running at the time every day, because I post my whole board up here and you can see exactly what positions I'm running. Try it out. ForexAnalytix, it's $1 for 10 days. Then be inside the community. You have all these tools that you can use and be inside our chat room and be in a community where you can talk to us about, these things. Plus we have private shows, for our community, like the daily roundup, where you'll have Nick, Grasshopper Nick. You'll have myself, Paulie. You'll have the daily roundup, myself and Steve. So, make sure you're joining us there so you can stay abreast of all of our thoughts as we navigate through the markets every day. All right, let's talk a little bit about equities. So here we are once again. S&P cannot break down. Bull flag pattern. Dale, we were talking about the flag was a little long in the tooth yesterday. Well,
yeah.
Well, damn it. It said, screw all you guys. I'm getting bullish again. And here we are into the end of the week. Now, I want to hear what your thoughts are here, guys, because I'm kind of like why should the market stop if we have good data? So if the data comes in good, we should rally because people will go, look, no recession. Hey, why not? Let's rally. Flip side is if we have bad data, the market likes it anyway because the market's like, oh, good, bad data. Maybe we do get a rate cut. How do you guys feel about equities here, and how do you think we're going to end up the week? So, Ryan, let's start with you.
I don't know. We might have a few worries coming up from that New York Banking Corp again. So that might put a bit of a downer. Put a bit of downer this morning. I think we're close to 51. I think where we close today is going to be important. If we close below 51, then that's going to potentially cement the top. We had a high today, 08 or something. If we stay above 50.80 though, I think we're going to have a crack at taking out that high next week.
We just point out, and let me just make sure that everybody sees this, and I'll make it even a little bit more visible here. Pullbacks have been limited to a 38% retracement on the most recent move. That's a shallow move. I mean, that's giving no one an exit if you're short, and it's giving no one entries to try to reestablish longs. That's the danger of only pulling back, less than 50%. You're not giving anybody an opportunity. You're not giving any breathing room to the market. So the market is sustaining gains and not giving them back is basically what I'm trying to say. And that is a scary thing if you're short. If you're short, you're pissing your pants right now. Kman, what are your thoughts about equities where we stand?
First of all, I'd say it doesn't look like, as you said, like a bull flag pattern. It looks more like a wind sack pattern, and I think that's a new. We should rename it.
You're coining that, yes.
It's still bullish, right? There's no other there's no other words for it. For as long as you hold that 50-40, nothing's changing in the picture, right?
Yeah.
And that's just a simple thing that we need to note. And the rest is and again, as you say, and as I've been saying on many shows, especially when it happened in back on the big numbers, even back end of October, starting of November, when we had that bumper employment report, I said, like, well, be careful. This is not negative stocks because the numbers are good. So again, I mean, look at the details in those reports that we are going to get, the ISM and the Michigan, and look for clues there. If you have new orders doing better, employment doing better, for instance, there is absolutely no reason to sell stocks, right?
Right. And that's the great points there. Hey, I want to talk about this really quick because this is getting a little scary to me. Crude oil, it targets $82. We were just chatting about it in the general chat room with Mark, who's very, very active in the crude market. Hi, Mark. Good morning. Happy Friday. We're getting towards $80. Range extension points us to $82. He's like, I can't see us getting more above 82 based on fundamentals. Don't see it. And he's a very active crude trader. The bottom line is, we're coming up to this $80 level. I do think that stocks are not going to take kindly to higher energy costs. Crude oil, it looks like it's going to squeeze. I mean, this is, again, think price action, rally, stall, holding 200 DMA, sellers can't regain control. And here we are threatening a breakout because, anybody who's been trying to short crude over the last couple of weeks is just, they are right now facing a tsunami of buying pressure coming through. How do you feel about crude? Do you have any thoughts? Either one of you guys?
No.
Okay. Ryan?
Just the same. It's unless till it breaks out, it's not breaking out.
But we're getting there, right? We're getting there.
Then you got to wonder how high can it go? When we're still facing demand issues and whatever. So you get a quick resolution in the Red Sea, you probably face some selling pressure. But the PMIs have slightly started to pick up. It's a slow burn, but they have. And if that continues in the US, if that moves into expansion from contraction, then there's a little bit of positivity for oil as well.
You know, I met with Tracy, Shy Girl. This was it earlier this week? I believe it was on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. I see if she got put up here on the. Oh yeah, she got put up here 3 days ago. Yeah, it was Monday. So I met with I met with Tracy on Monday, and she made a great point. She's like, historically, prices are very high. Historically, crude usually trades around the 30-40 handle, and it's sustained these levels for quite some time post COVID. So very interesting and you know, thought process, you know, when you all think about it. Okay, we got just a few minutes till ISM. I do want to just mention really quick, gold
No,
is
you got a while before ISM, mate.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Thank you, Ryan. We have an hour and a half. Sorry.
I could have kept my mouth shut and then you rushing around pulling up calendars and everything.
I just want to say, thank God it's Friday. And Glenn in our chat room, I 100% agree. He says, "Oh, dollar mex is at 17." He says it's French Toast Friday. I'm down with that. I'm so down with that. Okay, gold here is trading, trying to catch a bid, trying to break above this channel. You know, but I don't trust it, being that the dollar is as firm as it is. I don't know if I trust gold moving higher. Do you guys have any thoughts on gold, other than it's holding up really well? Because that would be my gut thought.
Yeah, we've spoken about that earlier today as well. It does seem like when you look at the timing of it going higher, so there's been a first leg on the PCE release yesterday, and then a second leg towards the end of the Asian session, and that looked to us like smelled a lot about China being involved again. They still, if you look at whatever happens in the rest of the dollar pairs, still China is still holding on, and I guess there's still investments into gold emanating from China. You know that they have a bit to do. I do think that this move through 45 already in the short term looks quite constructive to me. We'll see on the US data coming out later, because it's been a bit volatile. And the fact also, the reason why I'm saying that China looks to be involved as well is that silver is not involved at all in this move. That hangs in the mid 2022s, and it's not involved in this gold move. So it is something different, right, going on in gold.
And just so everybody knows, good. Silver is trading heavy. This is, and I guess I can draw it out for you here now. Here, let's get rid of that. Let me do it this way. Just so everybody can see it. This is a head and shoulder top developing. Just so you guys can all see it. That would project a lot lower, and you know, you could argue that we're in an uptrend, and we've been, you know, this could be a breakdown. I think that silver is ultimately going into the teens, but I got to give you a but here. Gold is, you know, very, very sticky, kind of like inflation. Oh, wouldn't that be funny if people start arguing gold's an inflation hedge again? That would be fun, because obviously that hasn't really been the case over the last couple of years. Anyway, but to watch silver in case gold fails, because if gold does fail, I think silver is going to be punished pretty bad. That's the way I'd view it. And you're right. Kman, it's just not acting well. So anyway, Dale, I know you're not feeling well, and I'm not going to keep you here forever. Did you have any last minute thoughts going into the end of this week that you think that people should be looking at?
Very important range in the dollar index between 380 and 420. I favored the breakout to the upside over 420. That could take us back to the highs. And the last high was 61.8, so maybe we're going to 78.6, which would be about 105.90-ish. And then, you know, I think what you're talking about as far as in the precious metals will happen. I don't think gold will be immune to a strong dollar if that
Yeah, and
happens.
I still get a little well, I'm definitely nervous with gold anywhere close to that 270 level. Just, I mean, everybody should know it. It's that major triple top that we broke out of in Asian trade, which if you guys last time some shenanigans like this happened in Asia, you know what the ultimate punishment was. Got taken to the woodshed, because if you chased sterling in Asia down here, you got taken to the woodshed in the other direction. So I get real nervous about gold as it's nearing that different asset, obviously different dynamics, obviously, but
maybe South Africa is going to have to dump gold with their fiscal situation. They have a lot of it.
Okay, and enlighten me a little bit.
Well, they have they put together some type of rescue plan to support the rand, and part of that pledge was gold. So the great levels to dump some gold if you need it.
Yeah,
you need
all
to
right.
support
Well,
your currency. A lot of central banks would not dump gold to support their currencies, but
why would South Africa have to support their currency? I'm being facetious right now. So
because they know how you and Kman are trading it.
Yeah, right. And that's a perfect segue. Kman, going into the weekend, what are your thoughts here?
Well, exactly as I said before, I'm watching those data out of the US, and we're a bit close to break comforts for break levels for comfort, because we could be done at a naughty price if it comes out strong for the dollar. If it comes out in line or just barely a bit weaker, have a nice weekend in FX at least. We are going to be continuing to be spectators of the rest of the assets, and the risk is, are we holding those breaks in the Swiss pairs? Would be interesting. Would be good to move into next week as well if we can close the week on a weaker note for the Swiss. That's really what I'm looking at.
Hey, real quick, you've been pretty quiet about it on the shows, at least, and on the F.A.C.E show, since I'm not around for the European for the Flow show. And guys, if you don't listen to Kman and Ryan on the Flow show every morning, right here, you guys need to be listening. I can't, because I'm trying to sleep, but for those Europeans or Asians that are around, make sure you're listening in. You've been pretty quiet about these yen pairs, and we've seen, at least like I said on the F.A.C.E show, we've seen a big sell-off in the Aussie and the Kiwi, Aussie yen, Kiwi yen, Canadian yen's coming out of an ascending wedge. Any thoughts on yen, like overall, not dollar yen?
Yeah, overall, it's. Ueda was talking overnight, and he said he was basically keeping his own line, not really reacting to Takata, and that's the result of it. Is that we are back to levels again where we were into the CPI, and exactly as you show it there. It's that's it. That is something I'm still of this opinion that if you're long yen, you need to take profits relatively quickly, because every time we come back to those levels. I'm not tempted to be long euro yen, for instance, but I wouldn't be surprised if the numbers are holding up in the US, that we witness the 152 in dollar yen. I really wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I mean the one we can't break down. There's the old saying, what does not go down only has one other direction to go, and that's higher.
The thing is, the down moves are spikes, and then you see a gradual move back up. You see that those down moves very fast, and then then we are back, and we continue to do that scenario. And there's a possibility that the next one is not a spike down anymore, but just a gradual grind higher.
It's a false breakdown in my book. False breakdown, usually it's a breakout. Strong ISM is going to put us.
And it happened on the last day of the month again, right? So
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Kman. Appreciate it. Ryan, all right, we're gonna forget Ryan. All right, guys. I just want to say I'm joking, Ryan. Joking. I
No,
love you,
I'm forgotten,
man.
mate.
I
Forgotten.
love
That's
you.
it.
No, so
That's
what
my
do you
green
what do you
light to go
think?
down the pub. Cheers, Blake. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye.
What are you thinking going into weekend, buddy? Other than I want a beer right now because
Oh,
I
and
if
I
it wasn't
need,
if it was
I need
not
some sleep.
6:35 in the morning, I would be wanting a beer too.
Yeah, I nearly had one this morning. I was woken up at about 10 to 5 by a rainstorm blowing in, pushing my house over. So yeah, I could have had one this morning. No, watch this data. That's what it's all going to be, and the same old advice that we give all the time: see where prices close after this data. If it's a big mover, it doesn't matter what the move is; it's where it finishes. So you could get all sorts of breaks like 108 in euro dollar on the data, and then it finishes back above. Then you've got to read into that what it means for the market generally.
Awesome. And guys, I just want to say thank you, and gals, obviously. Oh shit, we're seeing a little bit of what happened? Barking. Yesterday was a high inflation report. Well,
Yeah, he's brushed it. He's brushed it under the table. He said we shouldn't take January's data too seriously. So they're all doing it. They're all brushing it under the table.
yeah, it's getting a little bit of a spiky spike at the end of the session. And Dale, we're probing that 104.20 level, really threatening now. So this dollar index. So you guys, I just want to say if you're not in our community, jump in there. There's nothing like being in a community where you can just chat with everybody. You don't have to worry about Twitter, not knowing people, trolling around. We have a very good, clean, respectful community. If anybody talks religion, politics, or is an asshat, we'll just remove them. And
God bless you.
I mean, we don't deal with trolls. We don't deal with politics. We don't deal with religion. We're just all friendly and like to talk and chat. And we have the macro chat room. We have a general chat room where we just make fun of Steve. That's the only thing that is allowed, actually. And then we have the S&P room, news and research room. Great articles in here. I just posted something from Joe on this that was on BlackRock's website. Daily sentiment index is in there. We have Bloomberg articles and everything else. So yeah, jump in there. It's a great place to be. And if you want to be around like-minded people, ForexAnalytix, we probably have the busiest, most active community. You can go on some of these, crappy free Discord groups and channels, but you're gonna be spammed with a bunch of shit, basically. And in ForexAnalytix, that just doesn't happen. So we'd love to see you guys and gals there. We'd love to have you there because we'll be around in our chat rooms for the ISM data when it comes out. And when, Ryan? Did it just happen? Just kidding. Joking.
Go back to
Hour
bed.
and 20 minutes. Hour and 20 minutes. All right. So, hey guys, I want to thank you all for being with us and making it a great week. And Dale, I really, really hope this weekend you get some rest and your head feels a little bit better, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
All right,
And
Coach.
everyone, what Blake said, a community is priceless. Okay, especially.
Hope you feel better, mate. Have a good weekend.
Ryan. So everyone, just don't count your pips, count your blessings, and health is wealth. I wouldn't feel any better if I had 20 million in the bank than I do right now. So take care of yourself and move your stops to BE as soon as possible so that you have a long career. And you have a long career by eliminating stress as much as possible in a very stressful vocation.
Here. Here.
And join now. Do it today. Do something for yourself. Community will be doing okay whether you're there or not. Do it for yourself. And that's a wrap, Blake. Thanks for your wishes, Dream Team.
Thank you, Dale. Get well soon.
Really, an honor to work with not just talented people, but talented people with big hearts. Adios,
Coach.
everyone. Have a great
Cheers,
weekend.
mate.
See you guys.